The parents of a former U.S. Marine detained in Russia are pleading for his release. Trevor Reed is currently serving a 9-year sentence. He was charged after Russian officials accused him of assaulting police officers in 2019. Trevor and his family have consistently denied the accusations. Last year, Trevor went on a brief hunger strike to protest violations of his rights. And the parents of Trevor Reed, Paula and Joey Reed, join me now for more. Thank you both so much for being with us. First of all, how is your son doing? When was the last time you were able to speak to Trevor?
We actually got a phone call from him this morning, and we've had 3 phone calls in the last week, which is very unusual. But this morning he called us to let us know that he thought he has a broken rib. He said there was an accident and something fell off of a shelf, and he thinks his rib is broken now. And so now that he's coughing all the time, it's really giving him sharp shooting pains.
He's coughing blood because we think he has contracted tuberculosis, and they're refusing to test him. He's coughing blood, and he has pain in his chest, and he has a running fever. But they won't test him, and they won't treat him for it.
What kind of medical care, if any, are Russian officials providing?
Virtually none.
None at all.
Basically, when they take you to the hospital, they give you vitamins. And then they send you back. Basically, they say the only time you get treatment in a Russian prison is when you're near death.
So let me ask you about a conversation that you had with President Biden over the phone about Trevor. First of all, tell us how that conversation came about and what it is that President Biden said about your situation.
Well, we had been to all the government officials we could, talk to, National Security Advisor, Secretary of State, everyone, and yet still no American hostages are being brought home. And so we felt like the only way to get through this is to talk to the president. So we've been asking for a few months and still hitting a roadblock. So we asked, to see him while he was in our town here in Fort Worth, and that was denied at the last minute. So we decided we would go there and hold up signs to try and get his attention, and it did. And I'll let Paul tell you what happened.
So when the motorcade came through the first time, I was holding a sign that said, "Bring home my son." And as he drove by, I could see him reading the sign, and then he made eye contact with me and pointed his finger and nodded his head. Then we're waiting for him to leave the motorcade to exit. My phone rang and I looked down at it and it said the White House. So I was excited and I answered it, and they said, "This is the president. Can you talk to him?" He said that he thinks about Trevor every day, and he didn't want us to think that he didn't. And he said he prays for Trevor every day. And then he's told us that he said a rosary for Trevor on the way to Fort Worth. And he just said he's going to set up a meeting as soon as he can for us to come visit him, and that he's going to try very hard to do whatever it takes to get Paul, Whelan, and Trevor back home.
And how are you feeling about that right now?
We're very uplifted. Of course, we're kind of numb because it's been so long that we've been talking to people in Washington and nothing's happening. But this is what we've been hoping for, is to speak to him. We think that he can make this happen, like literally, with a snap of a finger. And we just want to talk to him and discuss it. And we believe it will bear fruit.
And what concerns do you have right now when it comes to your son as this conflict now with Russia and Ukraine continues to unfold?
Well, we're obviously concerned that the communications and relations between Russia and the United States have drastically deteriorated. But we're assured that communications lines stay open. They always have, even during the Cold War. So, but we're hoping that we're also told that oftentimes when there's a hostage or detainee situation, they move along separate tracks. But although we were told that before a war broke out. So we're concerned about that. Although we do believe, based on what President Putin and Lavrov have said over the years, is that they want a prisoner swap. And we just hope that they're still open to that after what all is going on now. And we hope that we can convince our government to do the same.
And what are you holding on to at this moment? How are you getting through?
We don't really have a choice. We just have to keep going. We got to do it for Trevor. He can't do it himself, and we're his parents. And so we have to do everything that we can possibly do to make sure that he gets home.
Paula and Joey Reed, we're certainly thinking about you and your son. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you for sharing his story.
Thank you.